The flesh is the only thing that we can produce outside of God's Spirit. The Spirit and the flesh, they're diametrically opposed. It is impossible for a person who's living in the flesh to also be living in the Spirit. They don't work together. Now, when Paul lists the list of works of the flesh, many of them are obvious, I think, that we would highlight like, yeah, that's sin. These are sinful actions. However, the flesh is not limited to the obvious sin that everybody can see. In recovery circles, you guys know my story. I gave, my testimony when I first came on, and recovery is a part of my story. In recovery circles, there's a term that people use called a dry drunk. I don't know if you guys ever heard of what a dry drunk is, but a dry drunk is someone who may have stopped the physical drinking. They no longer drink the alcohol, but they've never dealt with the underlying heart issues that are going on that drove them to addiction in the first place. The alcohol is gone, but the pride, the selfishness, the anger, the resentment, the manipulation, the self-centeredness all still remains. Outwardly, it looks like change may have taken place, right? But inwardly, the flesh still has a stranglehold over this person's life. And the same thing is true for any sin that we seek to abstain from, not just alcohol. A person can stop visible sins, right? They can act the right way. They can clean up their language. They can attend church. They can even read their Bible. They can serve in ministry, and they can avoid the outward things that Paul lists here while still having a heart controlled by pride, jealousy, self-centeredness, self-righteousness to elevate themselves. This is why the flesh can be so deceptive. Sometimes it's obvious rebellion against God in all these ways that Paul highlights. And other times it can even be disguised as religion. The flesh can produce religious activity, but it cannot produce a transformed heart.